When the Chicago Bears hired Ryan Poles and started a new regime that included bringing in new coaching staff and everything, it really set the Bears on a new path. Will the Bears take another step on that new path with the hiring of Kevin Warren as the Bears president and CEO? We're going to get into all that and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
All right, Bears fans. So the Bears have completely, it's a turning of the page in many sorts for the Chicago Bears. And now hiring Kevin Warren to be the next president and CEO of the Chicago Bears, a former commissioner of the Big Ten, somebody who's worked in NFL, who's just has a ton of accolades to his name. And so with the Bears and this new regime now completely being implanted into the organization of the Chicago Bears, it really does bring about a whole new era in many ways for the Chicago Bears. Now, I know some Bears fans are going to get to type and they're going to say, well, the McCaskies still own the team. And that is very factual, and that doesn't seem that it's going to be changing anytime soon. But what the Bears have done now, with the hiring of Kevin Warren, they bring in a person who not only has operated at the top levels of the NFL, who is also used to dealing with players, who already has some relationships. Justin Fields already saying that he has a solid relationship with this guy. The Bears have now signaled to the NFL that it's a complete change of guard, a complete change of mindset. And in very many ways, the move to Arlington Heights, which I know a lot of Bears fans, and we saw the mock-up, and I didn't cover the mock-up on any daily show because the Bears are still moving to Arlington Heights. It's happening. I get it. I understand why people are upset about it, but it is what it is. It's happening. When you look at the Bears not owning the stadium outright, not getting a cut of certain things, and how they can own this whole kind of epicenter that they're trying to build now with the Arlington Heights situation, the Bears are still going to move. Now, moving on from that, Kevin Warren is going to get to not only lead the Bears in a completely new era, he's also inheriting a team that has Ryan Poles as the GM, somebody who already has done his job and to like clear some cap space. The business side of it has been taken care of by Ryan Poles. This upcoming offseason is all about Ryan Poles now taking care of the football side of things and improving his team in a way. And Kevin Warren is not only going to get to lead that, oversee that for a handful of years, but then the Bears move to a new stadium. For the first time in many people's lifetimes, the Bears are moving from Soldier Field, and to get to lead and spearhead what the Bears have coming down the pipeline, there's a lot that's thrown on Kevin Warren. There's a lot that's immediately thrown on his plate that he's going to have to figure out and navigate his way through. But I tell you what, the Bears seem excited about it. Phillips seems excited about it. Ryan Poles seems excited about it. And you have not heard, and again, it's rarely in hiring you hear bad things, but you don't hear very many negative things in regards to him at all. How much is this going to actually change for the Chicago Bears in the long term remains to be seen. But the Bears went out and got their guy. And, Ryan Poles had this to say about him. Kevin is going to be a tremendous resource, and I am excited to get started with him. In my time spent with him during the interview process, it quickly became apparent his resume and business acumen will be a powerful asset to helping improve our organization and ultimately reach our goal to be a championship organization. And that is the standard that Kevin Warren comes into. That's it. He comes into that situation where those expectations are set. And Kevin Warren being 59 years old, again, not young by any stretch of the imagination, but not too old either to where he's completely kind of lost touch with what football fans want and Bears fans deserve. Ted Phillips has spearheaded this organization for 40 seasons. He's been with the organization 40 years, and he's been our team president since 1999. So Kevin Warren gets to step into a situation being an outsider in many ways, and he gets to show what he can do. All eyes are going to be on him. All eyes in Chicago is going to be on him. All eyes around the NFL are going to be on the Bears as well, looking at what the Bears do this offseason. Kevin Warren comes into this Chicago organization with tons of expectations, tons of talent on the team, tons of assets as well in his first offseason being in that position for the Chicago Bears. This is going to be, we said it, me, C-Dub, Bobby, we said it. This is going to be the probably most active and maybe the most important offseason in Chicago Bears history in many ways, and Kevin Warren gets to see and oversee all of that. Now, Ryan Poles does report directly to George McCaskey. That was an organizational change that came in when Ryan Poles came in instead of reporting to Ted Phillips. But it's still going to be a collaborative effort between Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren and where they lead the Chicago Bears team. And guess what? They don't have 10 years to figure it out. With the talent on this team, with having Justin Fields, with whatever they add, that listen, I say this, you got a 3 to 5 year window, not necessarily to win a championship, but to build a team that is of that caliber. Now, Kevin Warren had this, I think I said Kevin Williams. Kevin Warren had this to say: I'm honored and I recognize the responsibility bestowed upon me to lead the Chicago Bears during this exciting and pivotal time for the franchise. I look forward to building the rich tradition that started with George Haize and connecting with the unique and vibrant fan base in Chicago. I joined the Chicago Bears with gratitude and drive to carry out and build upon the legacy and spirit of this founding franchise and my predecessors. This is a franchise that is respected in all of professional sports, and I am humbled to be selected as the next president and CEO of the Chicago Bears. I sincerely thank Virginia McCaskey, George McCaskey, and the McCaskey family, Ted Phillips, and the search team for the responsibility and trust placed in me to lead the Chicago Bears and deliver championships. Not a championship, championships to Chicago. That, I get it, it's words, and anybody can fix their mouth to say anything. But those words that you chose, especially how you chose to end that, is going to be the most poignant words for this fan base as they look forward to what you do. And I'm telling you, been a member of Chicago Bears, Chicago Bulls, Chicago Black Sox, Chicago White Sox, everything of this city for the longest. And I tell you what, you set that standard, you say those words, those are going to be the words that are going to be held, the standard you're going to be held to every day, every year, every deal, every step. That's the standard that you have now set and that you have walked into, right or wrong. The Chicago fan base is a very interesting fan base and very different from most other cities. We almost expect excellence. And when we don't get it, if you play with heart, we ignore some things, right? But the longer that goes without us being at that excellence level, the fan base will turn on you. So Kevin Warren stepping in. Now, George McCaskey had this to say about Kevin. Kevin is a man of integrity, respect, and excellence, all of which are critical core values of the Chicago Bears. And we welcome his perspective and diverse thought to lead this storied organization. He's a proven leader who has many times stepped outside of his comfort zone to challenge status quo for unconventional growth and prosperity. In this role, Warren will serve in the primary leadership position of the franchise to help bring the next Super Bowl championship trophy home to Bears fans. It's all laid out. It is all laid out. That's the expectation that you walk into. That is the desire that's how hungry this fan base is to be back into relevancy and not just get us to playoff, then take another step. But eventually, this has to get to the place of the Chicago Bears being a championship level team. I don't envy the position that he walks into, but the Bears have made their decision. They went out and got their guy, and now the Bears have one of the most colored. Don't kill me for that. But they have more people of color in power positions than probably any other NFL franchise. Now, I haven't fact checked that. Somebody go and fact check me. I'm sure you guys will. But outside of all that, what matters, what boils down to it, is the success of this team. And they got a big offseason ahead of them, and this is the first step in what is many steps to come of the Chicago Bears changing this franchise. All right, moving into that. So I talked about in one of the last few daily episodes that Ian Cunningham, the Cardinals had requested to interview him for their GM position. Well, it looks like the Bears have granted that. So they will interview him for their GM position. And again, while this organization, this front office, this regime is still very young, I wanted to see everybody stay in, but it is what it is. He has 14 years of NFL experience, and it seems like, hey, they knew that they wanted to get their guy. How this impacts the Bears franchise, it remains to be seen. But again, as long as we're doing updates on things, I wanted to talk about that as well. But man, this is powerful. This is powerful. And it also was stated that Kevin Warren's and what he had on the U.S. Bank Stadium was appealing to Bears as they look forward to moving to a new stadium. It just seems like there is a lot of synergy in where the Bears are going and with the history and things that Kevin Warren has done. So we're going to see it. We're going to get to take a look at it. All eyes are on the Bears this offseason, and now all eyes are on Kevin Warren to see what he does in this position as the Bears' new CEO and president. Let me know what you guys think on everything down below. Make sure you're following the show at Shy Bears Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearsCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Like I like to end every episode on, bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.